Okay, so the other day I walked into a Future Shop and picked up
their hot biddies.
PlayStation Vita and played some Uncharted.
I gotta interject here that the first time Steve mentioned this before the podcast started, he's like, I walked into a Future Shop and played with a Vita.
Yeah.
Wait,
sometimes you meet 30-year-old Spanish women named Evita and you play with them. And it was good.
This is an overall positive experience.
That's a legitimate gameplay experience.
Did Argentina try for you?
She was playing some Uncharted. It was cool. Actually, the display is amazing. The graphics are impressive.
Yeah, but don't you have one?
I just got an iPad, so I'm definitely not buying a Vita, but it's pretty cool. And actually, Future Shop,
I want to buy a Vita,
at least in Canada or wherever we are.
Yeah,
Future Shop had a much wider selection of Vita games than Best Buy did.
We should all can like.
And some of them looked really good.
This is actually a pretty good topic that I want to get on because, like, I've been playing around with the Vita for a while now, and I've actually recently. You know what? I've been playing around with the PS
Just
Vita
because
for a
you're
while.
dealing some girl SWAT Jade doesn't give you the.
I said Vita, not low Vita, but whatever.
You're saying a Vita, anyways. Continue.
But yeah, I've been playing around with the PlayStation Vita for a while, and I've been playing with an iPad recently, the new iPad. The new
iPad 3.
You know how difficult that makes it to find like a case for the thing? It's like, do you want the new iPad?
It might cut you in half.
It's like,
which one? The one that was new last year, or the one that was new the year before that? It's like, or the one that's going to be new in like next
the
week.
new now.
But yeah, I've been playing around with an iPad, the iPad 3 recently.
Lorenzo was like half samurai from the waist.
I know a lot of people are like, okay, or whatever. I know
he will harakiri you with his dick.
We lost our connection here.
We lost our connection to the internet. No, we didn't. But like, a lot of people are saying, a lot of people say, does the Vita really have a place in today's world, in today's gaming world, with mobile gaming having a rise and doing all that kind of sort of thing? But like, honestly, after playing games on the iPad 3, I don't really think that it's like
there's not direct competition.
It's not direct competition at all. I mean,
it doesn't aim to be.
The Vita has games like Uncharted. It has games like Lumines, which is a very good puzzle game, which is the only game you could really argue is really in competition with any iPad game that I played.
Uncharted doesn't compare to something you got
Uncharted, you got Modern Racers, you got Rayman.
All right, now I'm going to interject.
Hold on.
Let me interject. I already said I was going to interject. You can't interject over my interject.
Objection!
There's way too much beer in this podcast.
Hold it! So anyways, what I want to interject with is the new iPad.
Yeah.
iPad 3.
Watch what you fucking say. His samurai dick is out.
Now has increased processing and graphical capabilities that have not been that weren't there before. Now, I understand what you're saying, but that was like developed like game makers and PlayStation specifically, Sony, were making games for the Vita prior to launch.
Yeah.
And I know that they do that for companies making iPad games as well, but now I just read that Bethesda is making a game for the iOS, which could be good now that the new graphics and processing power, and it could be companies like that making. Hang on, companies that could start making specific iPad games.
Is Bethesda planning to also release it on Android, but half finished?
Probably.
But all I'm saying is
those bastards.
Right. Yeah, but like there could be direct competition. There could be direct competition.
But the closest thing to direct competition, which I could think of, is the first iPad games. No, as iPad games come out. When you're saying iPad versus the Vita, or even the 3DS, because honestly, I'd say it's the 3DS versus the Vita when it comes to handheld consoles for people who are actually avid gamers.
I don't consider the iPad.
I've been using the iPad for a week. I've been using the iPad for about a week now. It's not a gaming device. You use that to check email. You use that to browse the web. It's fantastic. It's fantastic at that. And it works great as that.
I wish you could see Jay's face.
When I'm playing games, like what am I going to do? I could play fucking Infinity Blade. I played Infinity Blade 1 and 2. It's a fucking Punch-Out Club, man.
Listen.
No, hold on.
Hang on. All I'm saying is
stroke anything.
All I'm saying is right now you're absolutely right. It is not able to compete. But I strongly believe companies will come along like Bethesda, like other companies that will make games that could be direct competition.
I agree.
Now,
there's no reason why they wouldn't.
Until there's a fucking graphics card and an iPad, it's not going to be the fucking same.
There is technically. That's the.
Are you kidding me?
The processor's actually still dual core. What the quad core thing was is they actually.
But are the graphics comparable to the PSP Vita?
They're actually comparable, yes.
Yeah.
Like legitimately?
They are legitimately
Exactly.
comparable to the PlayStation.
Get your dick out of your mouth and stop talking. Hang on,
But that's at the end of the day.
Hold the fuck up. And there's developers designing games for the iPad that are as good as fucking games that are being done on the PSP Vita.
No.
Right now, no.
Not yet. That's
Okay,
what I'm
not
saying.
yet,
There can be. The
Who's
potential
gonna do
is there. I'm saying Jay's right as of right now.
But that's
He's
just it. Like,
absolutely right.
the potential is there. Why not?
If there's a market for it, they will do it. I would.
But there isn't a market for it.
There is,
But there can be easily.
Okay,
There is
listen,
not a
I just
market.
want to say one more thing.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. A gamer is not going to buy an iPad to play fucking portable games. They're going to buy a PSP Vita. They're going to buy a 3DS. The iPad doesn't even fucking exist to me as a fucking portable gaming.
Yeah, if you're
Wait.
let me make this point.
Doesn't even exist to me.
Let me make
your
this
point,
point real
and then
quick.
I will make my
No,
point.
I'm going to talk for a little
It
bit.
doesn't
here,
even
'cause
fucking
essentially,
register.
If you were buying an iPad 3 or the new iPad for a gaming device, then you are making a poor decision because you are paying $500, maybe $600, maybe $700 for a device that doesn't have that many games right now. For the majority of the part, is going to have a bunch of freemium games, which are basically like Facebook games. So, like, okay, I could be playing freaking
Farmville. Fuck Farmville.
No, not even, well, you could play Farmville on an iPad, but like I've been browsing the HD games available. You got like a Bejeweled clone that is attaches to your Facebook. You got Farmville. You got Diner Dash. Which, don't get me wrong, I played Diner Dash before. It's a half decent.
Everybody loves
Had a
Diner Dash.
decent free game that Zynga decides to copy next.
Yeah, well, Zynga. I played Tiny Tower. Tiny Tower is a good game, but like the best game I've played on the iPad right now is Infinity Blade 2. And honestly, I had a funner time playing that on the fucking iPod Touch because it's easier to control. On the iPad, it's large, it's unwieldy, it's not good for playing games. I mean, it's big, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, there was a racing.
It's not designed to compete. With
Yeah, like there was a racing game and I was playing the on-screen controls where like I'm touching, like there's no tactile response. It's not good for that. Or you could be using motion controls like the Wii.
It's designed.
There's going to be games that are made for
Guys.
it. There's going to be games that are made for it.
Can I talk? Yeah.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
Oh, no, hang on. There's going to be.
Let him talk so we can rip
Let
him
me
apart.
finish my point.
Hold the fuck up. Let him talk so we can put him through a goddamn shredder.
I'm not gonna
and fuck his corpse.
There's going to be games
I
that
will.
are made for
I don't
it,
know. Fuck.
but they're aimed at a different audience. They're aimed at a different audience. It's the same reason why like the Wii's audience is different from the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360's audience. It's as simple as that.
You got
Go
a
ahead, Mike.
vacuum.
Okay,
What is
all
your
I
rule?
really want to say is now with the ability with AirPlay and stuff like that, I know it'll be an extra device, but there are going to be games that are going to be made that I think, I'm almost positive, will be comparable to the game experience you're going to get on, say, the Wii U. Because you have your controller in your hand, you have your thing on the TV, and you can interact with what's going on the screen that's going to interact with what's going on the TV. Number one. Number two, there's such a big market for it because the first game that comes out,
95% of the win, Dave. Just telling you.
the first game that comes out for this thing that is actually made by an actual production company.
But that already exists. It's called Infinity Blade 1 and 2.
Yes, but you're saying, but I agree with you. It's a Punch-Out clone. I get bored of it too. But I'm talking about an actual legitimate game. Say like, I don't know, Mod Nation Racers or like a real actual Metal Gear game, not like some fucking touching game.
Yeah, that was garbage. Yeah.
Exactly. But when they actually make a fucking game, it's going to explode. I'm telling you, it'll sell so much because everybody already has, almost everybody already has, sorry, let me correct myself because I don't have it yet, a device that is an Apple device and they are using it for checking email, going online. So when you get the ability to have a game as a part of it, people will jump all over it.
Yeah, I understand that. But let me
I agree with you. I agree with you if you're talking about like a game like
Archer's
Farmville.
Beagle, they will jump on that cheese.
I agree with you if you're talking about like a game like Farmville or
No,
fucking
I'm not talking
Zombie
Farmville.
No, not even that. Not even that.
Just wait till Bethesda comes out with this game. And it's gonna be like a fucking good version. Who knows what it's gonna be? It's gonna be an online RPG for all you fucking know. Playing on your
listen.
fucking iPad.
The
Square Enix
iOS already has the Mass Effect fucking Infiltrator game. Guess what? I played it once for the review on the website. And you know what? I was like, yeah, this is a good game. It's fun. But you know what would be better? If I had a goddamn fucking joystick at any point. I fucking love this game.
But that's
when
what-
I don't have one, I have to fucking rub my finger all over the fucking screen.
Okay.
Then I'd rather fucking not. You know what? A fucking touchscreen will never, ever, under any circumstances, compete with a joystick. And if you're a hardcore gamer and you like
likes
fucking
working
serious
joystick.
games, you're not going to
And you
fucking
finish
care.
because with
Alright,
the
just calm
AirPlay
down.
capability, you could use your iPad as a controller. Settle the fuck
It won't
down
be the same.
with
It
the
won't be
two
the
dual
same.
sticks,
It won't be-
and you can play on the
it won't be the
screen.
same. It
I
won't
don't
be the
care.
same.
That's
I don't
fine,
care.
but
It's-
like-
it's so
No,
good, and
no,
you can have the touch capabilities to make it easier.
Touch
I had something
capabilities
here-
are not good
No, hang on,
at
hang on.
all, ever.
I understand what you're saying, Mike, but here's the thing, and this might change at this point too, with maybe more sales of the iPad 3. But at this point, there's 3 generations of the iPad being out, and honestly, the collection of games that are available for the iPad is abysmal. That's like saying, like, you know,
It's a housewife system.
no,
Seriously.
it's like no. I'm not even talking about high
No,
school.
no. It's for
The
fucking
games that
people.
are worth getting.
No, what the
The
fuck
games
is
that are worth getting for the games that are worth getting for the iPad right now are Infinity Blade 1, Infinity Blade 2, and a couple of others that are just like randomly lying around. I can't even
You agree, but they're all the same.
Okay,
But
look,
this is
we gotta wrap
no, hang on.
this part up here.
No, hang on, no, because there's more points to this.
Okay.
This is a platform that's been around for 3 generations, and people aren't going to bother making HD versions of their apps because they'd rather just make them for the iPhone, because there's a lot more iPhones and iPod Touches out there than there are iPads. No matter how many more generations they go through.
Okay, fine, I get that, but okay, you mentioned the 3DS and all this.
Yeah.
Okay, now to me, I bought.
It's actually doing well.
What was it? Not the one after the Game Boy Advance, whatever it was.
The DS.
Anyway, the DS, the original DS.
You bought
I
a
that.
DS?
Yeah, I bought a DS, but I bought a DS for one reason. I haven't used it in a while. One reason.
You had a DS?
Yes.
I've known you for like 3 years. I've never even seen this fucking.
No, but like,
Eventually, he'll just give it.
there's a good reason.
You're right.
For me, the only legitimate reason to invest in a Nintendo handheld product anymore is tell me what old RPGs from when people still made turn-based RPGs and they were still good is available on them. You know, with the re-releases of they had Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy
Yeah, so all the good
4,
Final Fantasy
Chrono
games before they
Trigger.
merged.
You know, all of those games that were fucking amazing back in the day got re-released on these systems. To me, that would be the only reason to consider investing in one of these.